Hey class. So sorry for the silence. I was just trying to make sure everything was working. But what you're seeing is my shared screen. On my shared screen, I have a data set example for you to look at. I'm also including this in your weekly module so that you can actually play around with this data too, since you don't have data of your own just yet. So this video in particular, I'm going to show you how to quickly run some descriptives in Microsoft Excel. Now, I'm doing this because I don't have SPSS at home, but if you do, if you have it on your device, you can use SPSS. You could use any other data analysis software that you might have access to or that you are the most comfortable with. If you do choose to do SPSS, there are plenty of videos that are out there that can help you that you could look up. I'm just going to show you this from Excel just because that's what I have access to, and some of my students at other schools do not have access to SPSS. But everyone has access to Excel through your, what is it called? Microsoft 365 online. Anyways, so all students will have access to this. Now, you will have to do this for homework, and you'll also have to do this for your own data for your term project. So I want you to also open this up along with me while you're watching this video so that you can check to see if you're doing the correct steps. So the first thing that you're doing when you run descriptives or when you do any statistical analysis in Excel is you have to make sure that you have the tool pack added in. So it is a statistics tool pack, and I already have it on here, so I can't show you actually how to add it in, but if you want me to, I can make another video. I'd have to delete it and restart it over, or you can look up some instructions on Google. I can also do that for you, and then I can also have the written instructions posted somewhere in the learning management system. Okay, so if you're using SPSS, you don't have to do that. It's already meant to be a statistical analysis software, so it has it all built in for you. A good way to check before you start doing anything is to click at this very top part that says data. Click data. And then if you're looking at on a screen that is relatively small, I'm showing you from my monitor, but if you had a screen that is like a 13-inch laptop screen or 14-inch laptop screen, or you're looking at this video from, what is it called, a tablet or an iPad or anything like that, you can certainly watch this video, but then when you're running your statistics, make sure that you're on some kind of device. And then you'll have to scroll all the way over to the right. So at the bottom of my screen over here, you'll see that there is a little bit more of a scroll. I can go on a little bit more, and then it disappeared, but let me bring it back. Okay, so here, data analysis, it's on the very end before the drop-down menu. So if you're clicking on this caret right here, some other more stuff will pop up. But select data analysis. I'm sorry, let me scroll up a little bit. So you want to, why? Okay, so select data analysis, and then this box or window, whatever you want to call it, will appear, and then the analysis tools that are here are alphabetical in alphabetical order. So you'll see the ANOVAs, you'll see if you scroll all the way down, there'll be t-test and z-test. So you're going to run descriptive statistics. So it's just going to be descriptive statistics, select OK. I did not label my row. I did not grab my columns. 1 second. Let me go back and re-grab those. So you'll see that those steps all over again. But from here, I like to grab it from the very top of the column. So you're going to have your 3 variables as well. I know most of you probably, I've approved 2. So for here, you're going to see the Rosenberg self-esteem scale, and then the narcissistic personality inventory. So the NPI and the RSES. You'll also see age as well. And these are all clean data already. So this is data that has already been scored. These are the total scores for participants. Now, after selecting these three, if they are side by side, like right next to each other, then you could just highlight and grab all three. If not, you'll have to select them individually, which is fine, or you can move your data around so your totals are right next to each other. So with Excel, you can only grab data that is quantitative, that is numerical. It will not let you calculate anything that is qualitative. So none of these letters, if they're written responses or anything like that. So here, age, self-esteem, narcissism, you're gonna grab these. And then we're gonna go back to data, scroll all the way to the right, or go all the way to the right, select, I'm sorry, I cannot speak right now, data analysis. And then you're gonna now select descriptive statistics. From here, there's a few things that I wanna make sure that you have checked. So don't just click OK. I know some of us get a little bit like trigger or clicker happy, but just hang on. So for here, you want to make sure that you click this box that says labels in first row. Now you do have to do this yourself. You when you're cleaning your data, organizing your data, this is really important because it's going to help you stay organized and not have a cluttered mess, right? That could get confusing later on. So you're going to select labels in first row, and your labels should be in the first row. So this very top row right here that says number 1. And then you're going to scroll down to this square box that says summary statistics. Mine's already selected, yours might not be, but make sure you select this, and then you can press OK or click OK. Okay, so here you have, this is if everything was correct and you had no problems, no error messages popped up, you will have your data, your descriptives over here. You know, there's like a faster way or an easier way to do this. I saw it on like TikTok a long time ago and I was like, this just works for me. Sorry, I'm old school. Okay, well, still. Sure. Okay, so here you're gonna see your descriptives. So what's important to note from this is you are looking to make sure the data makes sense, right? The reason for this is because you're not just going to rely on data that is not normal or fits that normal distribution or is better known as that bell curve, right? So a nice bell curve. So the way that we look at that is you're going to check and see if the central measures of tendency are relatively close to each other. So from here, you'll see that mean, median, and mode are what we're paying most attention to. So here for age, we're looking at mean is 23.3, median is 20.5, and then the mode is 20. So that's relatively close, right? You can totally ignore standard error. Some of you might want to just like delete it altogether if you want to. That's totally fine by me. Let's see if, I don't even know if I can do this. I'm so rusty. Whoa, that's not how you do it. Anyways. Okay, delete. All right. Okay, so here it's okay if you kind of like mess up the data a little bit. You can just actually go back to your data and then rerun your descriptives and it'll pop up with a new sheet where you have this information. Okay, all the information again. So check this out for the Rosenberg self-esteem scale, 22, 23, 27. Although that looks a little bit high, it's still relatively okay. Let's look at narcissism personality inventory. So you've got mean around 38.7, median 40, mode 44. That is close enough, right? So we're gonna know that this is actually pretty accurate data that fits a normal distribution. Okay, so other information that you want to look at is this is incorrect. Range is actually supposed to be from your minimum to maximum. So for age, it should actually be 18-42, and then for self-esteem should be 11-30. And then for narcissism personality inventory, it should be 13 to 49. Okay, but anyways, besides that, you know what a range is. A range should be the two numbers with a dash that's in the middle. Okay, so since these are relatively close together in value, you know that you have a distribution that you can work with. You also have to make sure that your data is relatively close. If not, there's some things that you have to do. Before we get there, let's keep looking at, what else was I gonna say? Oh, no, yeah, it's really important to actually have your, to have a normal distribution. Another way that you'll find this is when you run your correlation and you do your scatter plots, you can tell which data or which participant responses are outliers. Now, if these are relatively farther apart, so I'll give you an example. Let's say that your mean or something was 23, and then your median was, I don't know, 40, and your mode was something like 35. Those are not close. So that's one way to check. I don't even know if that could actually be accurate, but those numbers are way too far apart. So in order to make sure that you can actually continue on with your data, continue on with your project, you have to make sure that it fits a relatively normal distribution. Okay, so one more thing that I wanted to talk about is, I feel like I covered most of the things that you need to know. Yeah, so besides that, that's how you run descriptive statistics, and I will post an assignment for you to do so that you can actually practice along and do this as well. And then you're just going to have to screenshot your own, right? So you're probably using SPSS or another type of program of your choice, and then I want to see your output of the data. So that's it for today. I wanted to keep it short because I have a few other videos that I want to post for you too.